It is January 29, and we brought this 1956 Chris Capri into the shop for a complete restoration. What I'm shooting now is the intake video so that we can be sure and have a record of all of the details. We noticed that the exhaust tips are on upside down. I guess down at the bottom of the transom are some sort of flaps for leveling. They've got to be pretty much useless. We notice that we have two step pads way aft that have nothing to do with this boat. Don't worry about making noise. These hinges are wrong. This should be a piano hinge. I hope the owner will allow us to substitute a piano hinge, but I'll do some research online and make sure that Chris did not offer this boat in this manner. So we have behind the aft cockpit, we have two air scoops on each side, starboard and port. We have, I'm only guessing, I think I'm correct, this and the matching one on the port side. These two pieces of hardware for water skiing. We cannot remove this wooden monstrosity because the air cleaner pushes up through there. We have two step pads, one on starboard and two on port. The Chris Craft emblem, I believe is in the wrong place, but we have one on each side as well. We'll do some research and see what we can learn about that. The windshield's correct, the steering wheel is not, the gauges are not. Notice we have a Chris Craft emblem up here on the deck, which doesn't really make any sense. We will not be releasing these ceilings. My hope with the upholstery is that we can remove the staples from here and roll the crash pad back. We'll of course have all the seating out, but roll the crash pad back and work with it in that manner, not take it all the way out. We will not release the instrument panel. We have the front seat frame, appears to be original. We're really not going to touch anything inside the boat. We'll have to do enough so that when we pull the engine we can release that which needs to be released, but I think that can pretty much be done around the engine itself. We've got an aft lifting ring. A correct bow light. We have two bow chocks. We have a bow protective strip. The Capri did not have a cutwater. Would have been almost impossible to make a cutwater fit that curve. Notice that the stainless rub rail, is one piece. The front section of it is a single piece. So we have a joint right here. I guess we'll put the front piece on first and then work aft. Here are the two step pads on the port side. These have quite a variety of screws in them. As we go around, there are Phillips, there are Pearson, there are slot. These don't fit at all. I'm hoping we don't have to touch that throttle assembly. The stern pole is right there at present at the helm station. There is one white bumper. Tucked way up in here is a white fire extinguisher. And we can see, as with elsewhere in the boat, we've got multiple different kinds of screws. We won't send this hardware out for replating unless the owner asks us to. While it has been scratched, I think we can buff some of this out. The front bench seat is here. This is the base, and then this cushion sits atop it. The aft seat is baffling. I'm assuming it is probably screwed from under there. We have stainless splash rails on both sides. And that's pretty much it without taking it apart. There's the fire extinguisher. We get down here into the engine compartment. We can see a fuel filter. I think that's a water separator. And it looks like an electric fuel pump. An electric fuel pump right there. It has the siphon bilge. The bilge pump is sitting at the stern. I don't know if there's another one forward. And the bilge pump outlet runs up to port and a through hole. We will be pulling the engine. I'd sure like to find a shorter carburetor setup so that we can fix this hatch. We do want to point out some of the real issues we're going to encounter. I just don't know what's happened here, but the wood has all buckled. These planks are all buckled where they meet the bullnose. Such is not the case on port. It's only on starboard. We have more buckling in here and in here. We'll know more, I guess, once we've stripped this, but we have some issues right there where the bullnose meets the hull trim. We've got more issues here. Here's the registration number. Coast Guard approved. Should be at least 3 inches tall and has to be visible from something like 150 feet. This certainly is not. We have all kinds of issues with rolling wood. It's really odd what's happened to this planking. And I'm walking down the starboard side. And then back here we have our big challenges, because this is just all buckled. And just can't, the engine hatch is buckled. This is buckled. This whole piece, I don't think we can say this way it's buckled here. These things have got to go. We'll take measurements before we take off the name so that we can reproduce it. And we see that on the transom is yet another Chris Craft logo and Capri below it. She has corner strips on both sides. I think that about does it.